Hello, Aries. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Here's a Seven of Swords. I feel like you're somebody who generally gives people the benefit of the doubt. Okay? I find that you're usually a very trusting person, that you assume the best in people. I feel as if you generally feel as if people want to see you succeed, that the people that you have around you, at least, they want to watch you become happier and happier and happier. They want to watch you achieve your goals, right? But I feel like right now there's just this feeling of a feeling of suspicion almost. There's this feeling that something isn't what it seems, or almost like you're getting sort of conflicting information from people, or maybe there's people in your life that are sort of, it feels as if they're criticizing you a little bit. Because with this Seven of Swords, I feel like you're trying to stick to something important to you, but you've got all this other stuff coming in from all different angles, and I think we're just sort of not sure what to make of it, you know? So I wonder if there's a little bit of a communication blockage right now, or a bit of a breakdown between you and not sure who. Let's put this into some context. Yeah. Next card we have, Three of Swords. Yeah, more of this swords interference sort of energy. I feel with the Three of Swords that this is really coming from somebody that is very important to you, a significant other, a close friend or family member. And I feel with this Three of Swords that they're kind of telling you something you don't want to hear. Okay, let's put the rest of our cards out and see what we have. More swords energy. Got a Six of Pentacles, more swords energy, Princess of Swords, leading to the Hermit card. Okay, that's very significant. Over here we have Three of Wands. We have Two of Swords. We have the Death card and the Lover's card. I am sort of seeing something here. All right, but first let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the Factor, Infinite, and Unknown. We're going to set it down over here and put Mr. Ed, the tiny horse, right on top. Now, we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need. And if at any point during this reading you feel like you know what that card is, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments below. All right? This is a great opportunity for us to exercise our intuition, and I think that's always a good thing, right? Okay, let's take a look around the room here. As far as major arcana energy goes, we don't see any back here, but then suddenly we get the Hermit leading into the Death card and the Lover's card. Okay, very significant. I feel on the surface of things, it's kind of showing maybe a period of solitude that leads to some introspection, that leads to some very intense knowledge of self, right, with this Three of Wands, that leads into really a kind of new partnership. Okay, so I sort of see something that might be dissolving over here, but then we're coming back together with something else over here. I don't know if it's the same energy. I don't feel that it is the same energy. If it's the same person we're talking about, the energy between you is being transformed because of that Death card, right? So something might be dissolving, both sort of improving separately and then coming back together to be even greater than it was before. Okay, could be talking business, romance, whatever it might be, right? This could just be saying that you and somebody else need some time apart. Yeah. We've got a little bit of fire energy over here, which I think is the will for you to sort of be in hermit mode and be okay with it. We don't see, the one thing that's missing, we don't see any water energy. Okay, we're trying to squeeze maybe a little bit out of the death card because of its association with Scorpio, but that's about it. Okay. We do see a lot of air over here, and even the Lover's card rules the sign of Gemini. That is air energy. Okay. So a lot of air energy, and then very little earth too. The earth is sort of here, and now it's here. This is sort of, we're in a group, we're part of a whole. We are bringing something to the table, and through some sort of conflict with the communication, some issue there, some friction, we end up hermit. Okay? And that's not a bad thing, because that is leading to you activating your true Aries energy. The Three of Wands is the sun in Aries. Okay? So this is really you knowing yourself. This is you taking some time to figure out you. Okay? Some self-care, some introspection, some self-awareness, some growth, some self-development. And then we're ready for the real partnership that happens with that Lover's card. Doesn't have to be romantic. Okay? It could be something business, it could be something creative, it could be a family thing, a friendship, it could be a romance or a marriage or something like that too. Okay? It could be any or all of these things. But let's start with the central issue here, the 7 and the 3 of Swords. Now, of course, 7 and 3 give us 10. 10 is of course, 10 of Swords is the card called Ruin, which is just, there's an impasse. There's no way to proceed from here. It breaks down, and it's an ending. Okay? It's kind of, these two cards together kind of showing that we've exhausted all possibilities of figuring this out together. That you've been in the room having a conversation for a long time, and it's just not going anywhere. And this is sort of throwing in the towel. Okay? That's okay. Sometimes we need that. Sometimes we have to be able to say, this isn't going anywhere. I need some time apart. So I sort of feel like you're leaving a group, or you're leaving a person, or you're leaving a situation that at one point had a lot of harmony for you. That it was a very prosperous situation. It could be a work thing, a group of friends. It could be a one-on-one relationship with a lover or a partner of some kind. Okay. The 3 of Swords is telling me that there's an emotional connection between the two of you. Okay. So it feels like a family member, feels like a friend or a spouse. It could really be a work situation that you have a lot of sadness over the idea of it ending. Okay? Now, it might not be a permanent ending. It's definitely you taking some time away from that thing or person or group. Yeah. And it doesn't feel pleasant, right? We don't want to do that. Especially if something has this 6 of Pentacles in the background where it was working, it was good. Everybody was bringing something to the table. Excuse my voice here. Down beneath the surface with that 5 of Swords. Now we're going to have to do some affirmation cards for sure with all this air energy. But the 5 of Swords down here is really showing that you have, gosh, my voice is terrible today. You have given, and it's probably because of all this source, you've exhausted every avenue of trying to negotiate this, of trying to talk about this. Maybe this is you really wanting to, you're asking for a promotion, let's say. And you've tried every angle to sort of get what you need here, and there's no other option for you except to sort of extricate yourself from that situation. The 5 of Swords is movement in the air energy, that you've tried everything. You've had the discussions. You've had the conversations. Okay? Desire. Be certain of where you place your passion. And this is very interesting because this is the card that I always kind of say is like inspiring us to passion, right? The Lover's card is when you're hit with that with Cupid's arrow right in the chest, and you just fall absolutely in love with something, and you're pursuing it with passion. That's what is meant for you. That's what your purpose is, right? And I wonder if maybe this over here doesn't really have that kind of vibe to it, but this is something that you felt was a good fit for you. Okay, And we'll talk about the Six of Pentacles a little bit more, because this is sometimes the idea of a group situation, okay? But this is really, I think it's a one-on-one thing. If I have to make a prediction of my own, I feel like it's you and one other person. But I feel like this is really talking about a Three of Pentacles plus a Three of Pentacles, okay? That together, you and this person seem to work. It just seemed like a functional thing. But maybe that was the limit. Maybe this was a functional thing, but you need more, because it didn't have that passion. We don't see the water energy. We don't see the fire energy. What we have is something that maybe in a very sort of business way, the relationship was working. It was very functional, very practical. In a domestic sense, perhaps, it was working, right? The two of you were very good together in that way, but the communication isn't there, and certainly it doesn't seem like the passion is really there, you know? But this is something that I think still pains you to have to step away from. Now, we've got the Princess of Swords at the top here. I feel like this is another card that's, again, talking about all of your efforts, that you've tried to like learn different ways of communicating. You've tried a lot of different things to perhaps I don't know, to reharmonize with this person, or to resonate with this person. You've tried a lot of things to sort of get things back on track, right? I feel like this is also sort of, I feel like you bit your tongue, you know, a lot. And I feel like maybe literally, like trying to hold something back in your mouth, you did bite your tongue, like literally. Because I feel like this card is sort of you trying to be tolerant, trying to put up with a lot, trying to be flexible, trying to be accepting, giving the other person a lot of room, right? And I think enough has become enough for you. Yeah. And so from this, then we're going into the Hermit energy. And the Hermit energy really is I think, perfect. It's you're kind of going into the great unknown mystery of yourself. You know, it's a time now for self-exploration. You're the hermit who is withdrawing from a situation in order to find your inner light. And maybe in this situation here, maybe we thought this was something, because we look at this card, we kind of think there's a lot of light here. It's kind of a shiny card. That maybe that was a situation that was going to bring out the very best in you. But what I see it has done is brought out a lot of just sort of even arguing, miscommunication, a lot of us sort of interacting in a situation that we kind of lost ourselves in this. This is just a lot of air energy. Maybe we're saying things that we don't really believe, and we're trying to communicate in a way that doesn't really feel natural. We're doing everything we can to try to hold on to this. The Three of Swords kind of says enough is enough. We go toward this hermit mode, okay? It looks as if this is the choice you're making, okay? And now the tarot is not going to tell you what to do. I sure as heck am not going to tell you what to do. But I believe the tarot shows you the trend of energy. And this can all be changed at any moment. In fact, it does change every single instant, because you're changing, the energy's changing, the environment's changing. But if we go this route, if things do lean into this hermit energy, we can see what then would happen after hermit mode. We would see the self-awareness, the self-development. We would see really an intense awareness of self here. And perhaps with the Two of Swords, well, we'll get into all that stuff. But first, let's talk about hermit mode. This is the withdrawing from a situation in order for you to find the inner light, to find your own guidance, right? To really stop all this air energy, all this sort of mental stress and turmoil and conflict and friction, and find out what you're really supposed to be doing, who you are, and why you're here, right? It's really a time for reflection. It's really a time for that introspection, okay? And I think that you may even, in the last few days, probably have felt yourself sort of pulling back, I'm just not willing to argue about the same things anymore. Not willing to put up such a fight for things, because it's kind of, you're starting to sort of pull away and detach a little bit. Okay? So I feel even lately you've been a little bit more introverted than usual. Okay? Spirit's also showing me that you have a scar on your leg. I don't know what that's from or why that's relevant, but there's some sort of a scar on your leg. I don't know which leg it is. The Hermit is really that sort of introverted energy, introspective, that is looking for that inner light. And I think that inner light we're going to see on the path of the serpent with that 3 of Wands. All right. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's totally free. It really does help the channel. Okay. So the 3 of Wands down here, this is your general energy. This is the sun in Aries. This is the full illumination of your essential sort of nature, right? This is also the card of, I think, integrity, character, virtue, righteous action. Okay. And I don't say righteous in a sort of moral way. In a relative way, though. This is you discovering what is right for you. You're understanding who you are and why you're here. You're understanding your desire, your will, your intention, your aspiration. What is it that really fires you up in life? What do you want? Okay? And also you're discovering what you believe, right? And what you value. These 3 wands are, in essence, a single wand, right? We know that the Trinity is really a unity. And this is when every fiber of your being kind of knows which direction it wants to go. And this 3, it becomes a single wand of power for you. And maybe we'll get the Magician card as the mystery card. That would be nice. And so this is really you with this confidence, this assertiveness. Okay? And of course, it leads right into the 2 of Swords. So the 2 of Swords is basically saying we know what we will and will not tolerate. We know what we need to maintain our peace of mind. The 2 of Swords is a card called peace. It represents peace of mind, right? Very simple. The tarot is a very simple science and art. I guess as a science it's simple, but as an art maybe it's not so simple. It's easy for you now to completely avoid things that are going to bring you. This is a lot of air energy over here on the path of the dove. And we've got the 7 and the 3 plus a 5, plus the princess trying to deal with all of it, right? We've got 15 swords here. And this is someone up here who's really been trying everything. It's not gender specific, but someone who's been really trying everything to make this situation work. But I think there's this underlying realization that this ain't my situation. And the 2 of Swords is that peace of mind that just says, you are so much better off now knowing who you are and where you're going and why. To be away from that, I think this is really a realization that I can't believe that I was like holding on to that many swords, you know, that you were in this situation for however long. And so there's sort of a new tranquility in your mental life, peace of mind, right? Think about that, how valuable that is. And I think that this is you now, between these 2, really maintaining that peace of mind at whatever cost. Because you know yourself, you're confident in yourself. It's kind of like we have to spend some time alone to gain strength and confidence being by ourselves, so that we know going out into the world what we want and to easily walk away from what we don't want. Because we are confident. So, the card that we don't want is the Death card. It's never easy to let something go. And especially if this is a romantic thing, even if it's a business thing, right? And the 3 of Swords, of course, is showing that there's an emotional reaction to this. That this is something that is going to stick with you for a long time, both, you know, how good it felt at some moments or how good it seemed at some moments, but then also sort of just this awareness like, I can't believe I was there. I can't believe I let myself stay here for as long as I did. Okay, so there's a need to sort of let this situation go. In other words, sort of, forgive yourself for being in that situation and playing your part in it, right? It's a two-way street. But it's also allowing us to continue to move forward and evolve. This is the card of transformation, the card of evolution, the card of change, right? The card that represents things that have to sort of decay and die and dissipate and disperse, all the elements going back where they came, and then the birth of new life. Okay? So this really could, in essence, be you taking some time away from this person and then allowing the evolution and the development to sort of happen, but separately, in order for the two of you to come back together with that Lover's card. Okay? But this could really be the dissolution of that particular relationship, so that you can evolve and change and grow and transform yourself. Allow this process to happen in you so that you can be ready for the absolute best sort of perfect relationship, the inspired, passionate relationship that you really desire. This is the perfect soulmate situation. This is the perfect relationship. This one was meant to be. Okay, this one has all of the elements that you need, not just the earth element. Let's say maybe there was physical compatibility here. There is physical compatibility here, but so much more. Okay, so it could be the coming back together with the same person. I don't know. It doesn't appear that way from the cards, but you never know, right? It's a variable. But this is you coming together with that energy that is meant for you. If this isn't the relationship for you, this one is. This isn't the relationship for you right now, because you have some work that needs to be done. So does the other person. So do all of us, right? But you're preparing yourself for this perfect relationship, okay? Which obviously is still going to take a lot of work, right? Relationships do take work. And I think the Six of Pentacles shows that you know that you're very aware of what you bring to the table, right? But we've got some work to do, to get this kind of closer to the heart's desire. Yeah. I say we look at the mystery card. Yeah. Well, no, you know what? First, let's do one of these empowerment oracle cards. These are lovely cards. These are very encouraging, very empowering, actually. Let's see what we have here. That's the pillar of leadership. I am a leader. I speak in confidence with authority. I lead by example. I am a pillar of character that holds the weight of responsibility for my people. The pillar of leadership. It's an ace of swords, right? This is a beautiful card. This is a beautiful card. And maybe this is, it could be showing that this is maybe more business than it is romantic. Either way, I think that this is really talking about you sort of standing up and being kind of an autonomous being, with your own agency, being the emperor of your life, being that leader of your own life. And that really is part of this, part of that Three of Wands that does become an Ace of Wands, right? Now let's take a look at this mystery card. See what Mr. Ed is hiding over here. I would obviously love to see an ace of something, the Magician, or your Aries power card, the Emperor. All right. If you have a prediction, I would put it down in the comments. Let's use this opportunity to exercise the intuition. Yeah. Let's see. The King of Swords. Fixed air energy. More air anyway, right? But at least this air is fixed. And it's fixed sort of in the way of the pillar of leadership, right? That you are sort of sticking to your guns here. That you're making your decision and nothing is sort of, nothing's going to make you wobble, right? I think this is a good card because this is kind of saying that you've got to put your foot down. You've got to make a decision and you've got to stick to it. If this kind of says, hey, we're breaking up, then this is it. All the begging that might follow is not going to change your mind. This is somebody who does not change their mind. Fixed air energy. It's not swirling around like a 3, like a 5, like a 7. odd-numbered cards, right? They're verbs, they're active, a lot of movement here. And then, of course, you trying to deal with all that movement in the air energy. Whereas the 2, of course, is an even number. It's stable. It's a state, right? It's more a noun than a verb, right? And then this is us trying to stay in that very stable mode and resist any sort of any of that other, the opinions and the begging and anything that might be taking place. So I think this is really step 1, is to make a clear decision and stick to it. Don't go back on your word. If you say, this is it, I'm done, I quit, then that's it. You know, in order to get yourself over here to the path of the serpent, which is where the really great stuff is, we're ready for it, right? And we're welcoming in all this really, really good stuff. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. Click up here, or there is a link also in the video description. New readings for Aries, Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both, okay? We have sort of a weekly reading and then the weekend reading, right? Different readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is free, doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Let me know how you're doing, all right? I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.